How to love a woman. The reason I'm making this video is because I saw that the last few videos I made, there has been a significant increase in one particular one, and that title was I Never Had a Girlfriend Until I Was 26. When I noticed the response towards that video, then it gave me a sense that maybe that is what you want to be hearing. And the thing is, my experience in this topic uh, isn't very vast, if you know what I mean. My expertise is in martial arts. My expertise is in sports. My expertise is in mind. It is because of mine that I enjoy martial arts and sports. It is because of martial arts and sport that I learned about the mind. So for me, the mind and the body, they are connected, and it is what has brought me up to here today. It is what has gotten me all my results. And so it is what I want to be doing for people. At the same time, I also noticed the feedback and the statistics itself tell me that videos like this are important to you. So I thought I'll make another one that it's not so much that I'm an expert on this topic. It's more like it's how I think, and it's how I'm able to live very happily, very comfortably with myself when it comes to relationships. And I think that is more important than any other milestone or goal that you think is right or other people set for you when it comes to being happy in your own relationship. So when it comes to relationships, it is a very personal thing, meaning unlike your business, unlike your career, you pretty much don't answer to anyone first, right? There's no boss in your relationship. And you might say that, hey, my partner is like kind of like my boss. That is not what I mean. I mean, like, just like in anything you do, the first person that you need to answer to, that you need to be accountable to, is yourself. And it is your own standards, it is your own conscious, it is your own doing. It is what ultimately, when you go to bed at night, what can you smile about, right? When there's no one else around and it's just you, what can you smile about to yourself and be happy knowing that you are, like I said, you're comfortable with yourself, you're comfortable with the choices you have made, you are comfortable with the effort you have put in, you are comfortable and happy with who you are becoming, and who you have become, and who you will continue to be. So I would say that you need to first start with having that relationship with yourself when no one else is in the picture yet. Okay, the thing is, I've had so much failure with girls and with women that over the years I tried to do my best to study the subject. And I would research, I would download ebooks, I would find dating coaches, I would pay for coaching and things like that just to learn how to improve my self image, improve my confidence so that I can actually go out there and meet like proper women and like have proper dates and things like that. The thing is, I was so bad at all of this due to a very, very low self-esteem that I just didn't know what to do. However, what I noticed is that a lot of these books, a lot of these teachings, they focus on very, I don't know how to say it. It's not superficial, but it is very technique based. And the thing about women is that they are smarter than you think, and they are genius when it comes to observing emotional clues. And for them, it's a very no-brainer kind of thing. They can just smell whatever technique you're trying to pull off. So if you are not there and you're trying to use all these techniques that the masters have invented, and they know how to use it because they are living what they teach, right? They originate these things because they understand, they live these principles, and then they make it into an ebook for you to download. And just because you download and you try to use one or two techniques that you learn in those books, do you think you're actually going to become like the person that taught you these things? It doesn't work that way. So over time, I actually gave up on this whole thing. I actually gave up and I accepted that I wasn't. If you watch that video, I never had a girlfriend until I was 26. You'll see that I practically just gave up on the whole thing and I just forgot about it. And then I put my energy into enjoying my mission, which was to become a national fencer, which was to become a professional martial artist, which was to overcome my nervousness. I would used to stammer when I thought I was very skinny and things like that. I put my focus onto my mission and I concentrated on my mission. Now, I'm not telling you that if you concentrate on mission, you're going to attract your dream relationship and live happily ever after. What I'm saying is through this mission, I learned how to think. And let me share with you what I mean when it comes to thinking in relation to having your ideal relationship and in relation to knowing how to love a woman. And in particular, it is the woman that you choose, speaking as a man. And having that dream relationship with which I have right now, you need to learn how to think. Because if you don't know how to think and you did the same mistakes that I did, which is to go and copy external techniques that other people have invented and put them into a book or a course or a program, thinking that you can achieve that kind of results, but in the end you're not happy, because it is not who you are, it is not what you want, and what you're doing isn't even congruent with what makes you happy. So when I say knowing how to think, you have to understand that there are many different types of women, and I'm not going to go into the different categories because it's not going to help you at this point. The most important thing is a lot of guys, and speaking as a guy, I think if you are a guy and you're watching this, you could easily agree with me that a lot of us, we choose based on looks, based on appearance, and that is kind of like always the first thing that we screen for. In a few seconds we will think that, hey, am I going to go for this girl, am I not going to go for this girl? It's very appearance based. And what I did was, I remember this television drama that I watched some years back. It was about a blind lawyer. It was a blind lawyer, and this lawyer is very smart and he's able to crack very high level cases. The thing is, he's blind. So throughout the drama, I learned that this lawyer, he actually navigates with his heart, because when he couldn't see, and he couldn't see the physical appearances of people, then you know what that meant? It meant that he also couldn't see the mask, the appearance, the first layer that people show to him. So when he is listening, he's always listening to the person's heart, the person's intention, the person's character. How in line are they with their conscience? How in line are they with their values? And overall, what is like the inner person? Because that's all he can see. That's all he can see, right? So I took that and I say, okay, if I were to just look at people for their values, for their character, like who they really are all the time, no matter who they're with, or even if they're not with people, who is kind of like the inner person behind the person. And I started to even look at everyone, including women, in the same way. So when I was just looking at women from that point onwards, I told myself, yes, this girl is pretty, and yes, that girl is pretty, but I gotta look beyond and say, okay, what are the values that are really important? And if one day my partner were to grow old and lose all of this like appearance, like what is going to be the thing that I can still appreciate and still connect with and still love? And I started from that base level of choosing or screening, if you will. It was no longer based on looks, it was no longer based on superficial things, and I began to look at the deeper stuff and think, how can I actually have a proper connection that means something. And for this to be the foundation is so important because it's very hard to choose someone based on their looks and then trying to transform them into someone that can be with you. Like, that is going to be so screwed up on so many levels. It's just not who they are. So I bypassed that problem by choosing the person whose values, whose inner person is a match with me, that I can see that we can save so much on all the fights, we can save so much on all the misunderstandings, because we are very we understand each other, we get each other, we're willing to listen to each other. Above all, we have the same values. And I also learned a lot of this from my last relationship, which is the first relationship that I mentioned in that video. I never had a girlfriend until I was 26. So I learned about all these different mismatches, right? Because in that first relationship, a lot of the quarrels, the fights were based on it seemed to be very superficial, surface level things, but when I reflected on that, I realized that it was a lot of mismatch in terms of expectations, values, and thinking. So I overcame that by saying, okay, now I'm going to start from the other way. I'm not going to choose based on looks, I'm going to choose based on the things that really matter to me, right? Things like loyalty, having that, how to say, the ability to treat people well, regardless of who they are, right? The ability to be respectful, to have proper conversations, um, to share similar ideas and ideals about life, like what life should be about, what life should be. So in my current relationship, which is my dream relationship, we have very little deck level type of squabbles. We're very aligned and it's very easy to live. Every single day I look forward to just interacting, living with my partner and doing things with her, and it's very, very easy to love my partner because there's nothing that I wouldn't love, because in the beginning I chose based on the things that I would already love, the things that matter. So every day it's a question of how can I love my partner more? What can I do for my partner more? How can I become more aligned? And she is thinking the same way for me. So it's almost like we are one unit, right? We are treating each other as a we. And why would you fight with yourself? Why would you make life difficult for yourself? We wouldn't do that. So it's very, very easy. And you don't need to rely on any techniques. You don't need to rely on any, like, how to build attraction and that kind of thing that I used to study when I was younger. And these techniques will not stand the test of time. They will not give you the results you want if at the end of the day you don't know yourself, you don't understand yourself, and it's not a match. Like your expression is not a match with your innermost values, your partner is not a match with your innermost values, then there is no technique or book in this world that's gonna teach you how to love this person better, because it's just not a match, and you're gonna be very, very painful trying to make it a match when it is not. So the best way that you can love your partner is in the very beginning. You need to have that common set of values. Now, if you don't have that and you're kind of already midway into a relationship that is important to you, then the next best thing that you can do is to find that common ground and create that mutual understanding to the best of your ability. Don't say things that you don't mean. Don't act when you're angry. All these lessons I learned from experience. And be responsible, especially if you are the man. Be responsible for your own thoughts, your own words, your own actions, and give what you can from a pure place without any expectation. Always think of how can I improve this relationship? How can I improve this communication? How can I make myself the better person? How can I make myself make this work, right? You're not perfect and I'm not perfect. There will still be mistakes, glitch, errors along the way. That happens for every human being. The important thing is after you reflect on it, what do you choose to do? That is what is going to define everything when it comes to how you want to love your woman. So if this video brought you the clarity and it answers some important questions to things that you may be finding, do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so every time I release videos on my innermost thoughts like this, you get notified. And if you know of a friend that needs to hear this message, listen to this video, tag them in the comments below, send them the URL, the link to this video. You never know whose life you might change when you take an action as small as that. Last but not least, if you have a question that you know that my 2 cents will be able to give you a new perspective and add some value in any way, shape, or form, same thing, write to me at Telegram at Sena, that's SEANSENA. Your name will be kept anonymous and your question will be turned into future content that is going to help many, many people. Until next time, I had fun making this video. It's Sena. Have a great day.